001 Fairy Start, the eldest young master of the Bai family. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The medium-sized secret world, the mysterious world of 10,000 spider nests, one of the 7 large-scale central city bases, the main city Bailin City, a luxurious and exquisite villa, located in the central area of Bailin City. Behind the villa is a hill with a clear lake at the bottom. The early morning sun shone on the lake, sparkling, and there seemed to be many spiritual fish swimming, however. Around this hill and lake, apart from this villa, there are no other buildings, because this hill and lake are the backyard of this villa. This is incredible. In the entire mysterious world of 10,000 spider nests, there are only 7 large central city bases, which can be said to be the foundation of the human race in the mysterious world of 10,000 spider nests. As one of them, Bailin City can be said to be an inch of land and an inch of gold. However, in the core area of Bailin City, there is actually such a residence, which is unimaginable for outsiders. It can be said that to be able to own such a residence must be a wealthy and powerful family. In fact, this is also the case. This villa is the city lord's mansion of the city lord of Bailin City. At the same time, in the room on the second floor of the villa, a boy about 14 or 15 years old was washing. Looking up, the mirror reflected the face of a handsome young man with fair complexion, like a handsome young man. Although I have watched it for 15 years, I have to say that my appearance in this life seems to be too handsome. Bai Zian sighed in his heart and seemed a little helpless. Yes, he is not a native inhabitant of this world, but a traveler. In his previous life, he was a soldier who died during a mission. As a result, I didn't expect that I would actually travel to the world of beasts. Yes, the world Bai Zian is now in is the world of beasts. There are all kinds of magical beasts and countless beast masters. However, his situation is more like reincarnation, rather than crossing the belly, being born from the mother's womb, and then growing up naturally. It can be said that Bai Zian is no different from the native inhabitants of this world. The only difference is that he has the memory of the previous life. Could it be that he forgot to drink Mengpa soup when he was on the reincarnation circuit? Cough. He doesn't know if he has seen Madame Meng, but because he was a soldier in his previous life, in this life, he has become a little white face, and he is still the kind of top-level appearance, which makes Bai Zian a little uncomfortable. Wow! That a sound of gurgling water came from a distance. At the same time, a figure with a long body like a silver ribbon floated in the air and came to Bai Zian. This is a spirit fish with a slender body, almost 3 meters long, a pair of red fish eyes, exuding a faint golden light, and the fish have silver stripes, which look very extraordinary. Moreover, there is a flowing current under the spirit fish, making it float in the air, as if swimming in the water. An, it's time for breakfast. I see, red-eyed silver-striped fish. Tell my father, I'll go down after I wash up. Bai Zian smiled lightly. Although Ling Yu's voice was not a human voice, Bai Zian seemed to understand Ling Yu's words and said to Ling Yu in front of him, this miraculous spiritual fish is his father's natal spiritual pet, the red-eyed silver-striped fish. Although the red-eyed silver-striped fish is not particularly large, it is a gold-level pet beast, and it can be regarded as a strong one. After washing up, Bai Zian came to the restaurant on the first floor. The servants have prepared breakfast, a fragrant breakfast, placed on the table. At the dining table, a middle-aged couple and a 10-year-old girl were having breakfast, looking very harmonious. This is Bai Zian's parents and sister. At the same time, Bai Zian noticed that there was a majestic old man sitting on the main seat of the dining table. The old man had white hair and a boyish face, looking 50 or 60 years old. Of course, this is just the outward appearance. Those who are familiar with the old man will know that the old man's age far exceeds this number, because the old man has been sitting in this city for 50 years. Moreover, the old man looked serious, and at first glance it was a powerful person who had been in a high position for a long time and held the power of life and death. Grandpa, when did you come here? Aren't you busy with work? As soon as he saw the majestic old man, a smile appeared on Bai Zian's face, and he came directly to the old man. This is Bai Jingchong, Bai Zian's grandfather, the famous city lord of Bailin City, one of the 7 strongest in the mysterious world of 10,000 spider nests. The diamond-level beast master has been in Bailin City for 50 years. In the entire Bailin City, the old man Bai Jingchong is the strongest existence, tied with the other 6 city lords of the main city. It can be said that the beginning of Bai Zian's life is also the beginning of Tianhu. with a very strong background. To be honest, as a traveler, Bai Zian not only has a very amazing background, but also belongs to a wealthy family. Even, there is a harmonious family. Not only are his parents alive, but his grandfather is one of the strongest in the world. Such a start is simply unimaginable. Bai Zian has to wonder if he is the protagonist. Is such a strong background and a harmonious family really what the protagonist can have? Could it be that he is not the protagonist? Bai Zian has always had this doubt. However, as the city lord of Bailin City, Bai Jingchong is usually very busy and rarely returns to the city lord's mansion. Therefore, Bai Zian was a little surprised at the arrival of the old man Bai Jingchong. Today is the annual awakening ceremony. As the city owner, I need to go to the scene to give a speech and encourage the students. Grandpa remembers, Shaoan, you should be a high school student this year, and you need to participate in the awakening ceremony. Exactly, our grandfather and grandson will go to the awakening hall together. Seeing Bai Zian coming, Bai Jingchong's serious face showed a smile and smiled at Bai Zian. The awakening ceremony, the full name is, the Kyushu Federation's annual awakening ceremony of the beast-fighting talent. Every year during the senior high school entrance examination, the state presides over the awakening ceremony to help senior high school students wake up. If you successfully awaken, you can apply for the Imperial Beast High School and learn various knowledge related to the Imperial Beast. If the awakening fails, then you can only go to ordinary high school. It can be said that this is an important moment in life. However, as a high school student, Bai Zian's expression was very calm, because a month ago, he spontaneously awakened his talent for fighting beasts. This is inevitable, although it is very difficult to awaken the talent of the beast on his own. However, as the lord of Bailin City, the blood descendant of the Diamond Beast Master Bai Jingchong, Bai Zian also has the blood of a beast master. It is not particularly difficult to awaken the talent of the beasts. Therefore, before the awakening ceremony began, Bai Zian awakened on his own. As for Bai Zian's awakening talent for fighting beasts, it can be considered a very good talent, that is the A-level talent, intuition, *002 A-level beast master talent, intuition. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Intuition, A-level spiritual talent, with amazing combat intuition, sometimes can get special premonition, can also perceive the thoughts of spirit beasts, and then communicate with spirit beasts easily. It can be said that this is also an excellent talent for fighting beasts, and the effect is very comprehensive. Not only does he have intuition, he can seek good and avoid evil in battle, and he can even communicate with spirit beasts, which is of great help in fighting and subduing spirit beasts. This shows how powerful Bai Zian's talent for fighting beasts is. It can be said that Bai Zian's intuitive sense talent is also excellent among the many beast-fighting talents. In this regard, everyone in the Bai family is naturally very happy, especially the old man Bai Jingchong. After learning that Bai Zian successfully awakened his talent for fighting beasts on his own, he was also very happy. Because of the self-awakening of the beast-fighting talent, this is not an easy task. If it were that easy, the Kyushu Federation would not need to hold an awakening ceremony. What does this show? It shows that Bai Zian has great potential, belongs to the type of genius, and may grow to a good height. The only thing that Mr. Bai Jingchong felt a pity was that the beast mastering talent that Bai Zian awakened was not the elemental water talent that was closely related to the Bai family. However, the intuition talent of the spiritual department is also a good talent, and it is also an A-level talent, so Mr. Bai Jingchong is very satisfied. But in this way, the awakening ceremony would not have much effect on Bai Zian. Therefore, Bai Zian is a stable group, not worried about the awakening ceremony at all. Don't underestimate the awakening ceremony. The awakening god stone used by the Kyushu Federation is a very special top-level treasure, and there is only one piece in the entire Kyushu Federation. Also, this awakening god stone has a very special origin. At the beginning of the new era, the beasts descended on our world, causing a huge crisis to our human race, and almost wiped out the clan. It is precisely because the ancestors of the human race discovered this stone of awakening, which in turn allowed the first generation of beast masters to awaken their talent for beast mastering, opening the age of beast mastering, and the human race was able to survive and flourish. It can be said that this special awakening stone is the cornerstone of the beast-fighting civilization of our Kyushu Federation. Shaoan, this is also a good opportunity for you. During the awakening ceremony, you can use the awakening energy of the awakening god stone to build your beast guarding space. Wait until your imperial beast space is officially formed, you can start contracting beasts. Bai Jingchong seemed to see that Bai Zian didn't care, so he said to Bai Zian helplessly, if a newcomer wants to become a beast master, he needs to go through 3 stages: awaken the beast master talent, build a beast space, the first pet beast of the contract. Only when these 3 things are completed can he be called a beast master and officially embark on the road of beast master. To be honest, Bai Jingchong would not let Bai Zian attend the awakening ceremony if it was not necessary. The reason is mainly to awaken the awakening power of the god stone. That's good stuff. To be honest, there are also some geniuses who awakened early in the disciples of some aristocratic families or special sections. However, they all let their children participate in the annual awakening ceremony. Its purpose is to obtain the awakening power of the awakening god stone, build the beast defense space in advance, and save some time. Of course, the Kyushu Federation also knows about this. But they don't care, because as long as they participate in the awakening ceremony and successfully awaken the newcomers to the beast defense talent, their beast defense talent must be registered. This is of great benefit to the unified management of the beast masters by the Kyushu Federation. So, what's the point of wasting a little bit of awakening energy? Grandpa, I know, I will take the awakening ceremony seriously. Bai Zian nodded earnestly and took note of this matter, because in the past, he was only busy learning the knowledge of the beast and the awakening talent, but he didn't know much about the awakening god stone. Therefore, when Bai Zian heard Bai Jingchong's warning, he immediately understood that this was a big opportunity. For a time, Bai Zian also became more concerned about the awakening ceremony. But then again, the awakening god stone is really incredible. There is only one awakening god stone, but it can support the awakening of hundreds of millions of middle school students in the Kyushu Federation. This divine power is indeed a bit amazing. Bai Zian let out a sigh. With the power of the awakening god stone, Bai Zian is not clear about building the secrets of the beast fighting space, but Bai Zian still knew something about the awakening ceremony. It is said that when the awakening ceremony begins, the Kyushu Federation will activate the awakening god stone and then use the space projection skills. Through the method of space projection, the power of the awakening god stone is projected to the various regions of the Kyushu Federation, as well as the awakening halls of the various secret worlds affiliated to the Kyushu Federation, in order to help high school candidates awaken. This thing in itself is a miracle. For this reason, Bai Zian has such emotion. Don't think nonsense, take the awakening ceremony seriously, and build a space for beasts. This is the most important thing for you now. Bai Zian's father Bai Qingji raised his head and said to Bai Zian in a serious tone. Bai Zian repeatedly said yes, dismissed the topic, and started to eat breakfast. Soon, the family finished breakfast. At this time, the driver of the city lord's mansion was waiting outside the villa early. Bai Zian bid farewell to his parents and went to the awakening hall with his grandfather. Soon, Bai Zian's grandfather and grandson came to the vicinity of the awakening square. At this time, the square around the awakening hall has become waterlogged, and students are everywhere. The principals of many middle schools brought their middle school students to the vicinity of the awakening square, and under the arrangement of the staff, they prepared to participate in the awakening ceremony in an orderly manner. Of course, Bai Zian is no exception. Although he is the grandson of the city lord of Bailin City, he also needs to proceed in order, because the Kyushu Federation attaches great importance to the awakening ceremony and does not allow the slightest problem. Even if he is the grandson of the city lord, if he deliberately disturbs the awakening ceremony, he will not be able to eat and walk around. Therefore, after saying goodbye to Mr. Bai Jingchong, Bai Zian returned to his school and prepared to participate in the awakening ceremony with his classmates. Bai Xiaohao. Long time no see, Master Bai. Bai Xiao hasn't come to school for a month, so he must be fully prepared. When Bai Zian returned to the class, there were bursts of greetings from the surroundings. Asterisk. 003 The awakening ceremony begins. Sudden changes. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Although Bai Zian doesn't play the role of a young master, but his identity is special, and his appearance is very outstanding. Even in the crowd, he is destined to be the most dazzling person. The most important point is that Bai Zian's school is the highest middle school in Bailin City. the descendants of the generals of Bailin City, the children of various dignitaries, basically gathered in their schools. These students are basically human beings, and Bai Zian, as the grandson of Bai Zian, the lord of Bailin City, can be said to be at the top of this group of playboys. Therefore, when Bai Zian appeared, the classmates involuntarily leaned towards Bai Zian and greeted Bai Zian with enthusiasm, forming a small circle. In response, Bai Zian just smiled and nodded in return. As for the reason why Bai Zian didn't go to school for a month, there is no need to say more. Bai Zian needed time to get acquainted with the beast-fighting talent on his own, so he simply didn't go to school. Brethren, you're finally here. I haven't seen you for a month. I almost miss you. Just as Bai Zian greeted his classmates, a chubby figure, like a ball, pushed away from the crowd, came to Bai Zian, and looked at Bai Zian with a resentful expression. Fatty Yuan, can you stop talking to me in such a resentful tone? People who don't know, think we have a leg. Bai Zian said helplessly. This is Bai Zian's #1 younger brother. Because of his elders, he grew up with Bai Zian and has a good relationship with Bai Zian. Moreover, Fatty Yuan has a very domineering name, Yuan Potian. This is a proper name for the hero of the novel. When he was a child, Bai Zian once thought that Yuan Potian was the male lead. However, with the passage of time, Bai Zian completely dismissed his thoughts as he watched Fatty Yuan's body gradually become smoother. After all, there is no protagonist like basketball. There are countless protagonists who are as handsome as the readers. Bai Zian, I didn't come to school for a month. I thought you were scared. If you obediently admit defeat, I can let you go and give up the bet between us. At this time, a cold female voice sounded. A tall, handsome young woman with long red hair, surrounded by a group of students. He came to Bai Zian and looked at Bai Zian proudly. Don't worry, little phoenix, this bet is still valid. I'm looking forward to it. If you lose and fulfill the bet, don't cry. Looking at Feng Yan with long fiery red hair, Bai Zian smiled lightly, with a hint of a smile in his eyes. Dare to be so arrogant in front of Bai Zian, of course, is not an ordinary person. As the granddaughter of Feng Yan, the deputy city lord of Bailin City, Feng Yan is also considered to be the top figure among the dandy children, similar to Bai Zian, but at school, Feng Yan was always pushed by Bai Zian. The arrogant Feng Yan has always been unwilling and wanted to challenge Bai Zian, so with the opportunity of the awakening ceremony, they made a bet. The content of the bet is to see who has better awakened talent. The loser has to promise the other one something. For this reason, this is the scene in front of me. As for whether they can awaken the talent of the beasts, to be honest, they didn't have any worries. The elders in the family are all strong beast masters, and there is no possibility of awakening the beast master talent, which is almost low above. Course, Bai Zian didn't worry too much about this. After all, he has successfully awakened his A-level talent on his own. Bai Zian has a 90% chance of winning this bet. After all, S-rank talents above A rank are rare in the entire Kyushu Federation, and the probability of appearing is not high. Not to mention, their current location is just a secret world under the Kyushu Federation. Bai Zian of damn it, don't call me little phoenix. Also, just wait to lose this time. I look forward to the day when you bow before me. Feng Yan looked arrogant, and a smile appeared in his eyes, as if he had a lot of confidence. Afterwards, Feng Yan took her little followers and returned directly to their class. Brethren, you have to be careful. Feng Yan came prepared this time. I heard from my father that the Feng family seems to have obtained a special treasure some time ago, which should help to awaken the talent. That's why Feng Yan is so confident. Fatty Yuan said in a low voice, as if he had heard some inside information. The Feng family has a special origin and profound background. There are some special methods, but it is a normal thing. It doesn't matter. Bai Zian smiled lightly, not too worried, because he had a hunch. Feng Yan should not cause him any trouble. This is a hunch that belongs to the intuition talent. Therefore, Bai Zian is not worried about anything. Hello, students from different schools. This old man is Bai Zian, the lord of Bailin City. For you, the awakening ceremony will be a new start in your life. At the same time, on the high platform of the awakening square, there appeared an old man with a childish face and a spirited spirit. This is Bai Zian, Bai Zian's grandfather. At this time, Bai Zian was giving a routine speech to cheer for the middle school students. At the same time, when the city lord Bai Zian appeared, the atmosphere in the awakening square suddenly became warm. Most of the high school students looked at Bai Zian with respect. People yearn for the strong. Especially the strong who protect them. In this regard, Bai Zian looked calm, because he had seen such a scene many times. After a while, Bai Zian finished his speech, and the awakening ceremony finally began. On this day of the awakening ceremony, the divine power of the awakening god stone will shroud the entire awakening hall. All middle school candidates only need to enter the awakening hall in batches in order, then, with the help of the awakening god stone, awaken the beast fighting talent, and that's it. For a while, the awakening ceremony officially began. All middle school candidates enter the Hall of Awakening according to their admission ticket numbers and in batch order. After a while, it was finally Bai Zian's school. Bai Zian and others, led by the staff, directly entered the Hall of Awakening. This is an empty hall with 1,000 positions on it, which can help 1,000 students awaken at one time. In the sky above the awakening hall, a mysterious 7-colored divine stone phantom was suspended above the awakening hall, emitting a light blue light, covering the entire awakening hall. This is the spatial projection of the awakening god stone, and the awakening energy emanating from it. Bai Zian didn't waste any more time. He directly found his position, sat cross-legged, began to absorb the awakening energy, and prepared to build the beast defense space. However, at this time, Bai Zian seemed to have some changes. Asterisk. 004 Variation in the talent of the beasts, unexpected opportunities. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Boom, when Bai Zian began to absorb the awakening energy and was ready to start building the space of the beasts, the awakening energy pouring into Bai Zian's body began to riot. The amazing awakening energy, among Bai Zian's limbs, collided frantically. Like a wild horse, the awakening energy is out of control. Bai Zian was a little puzzled, not knowing why such a change occurred. The most terrifying thing is that this out-of-control awakening energy began to rush towards Bai Zian's mind after. Bai Zian walked through all 4 limbs. In response, Bai Zian's expression changed drastically, because the brain is one of the most important organs of human beings. If Bai Zian's brain is damaged by the awakening energy, he might become a fool. That's really dangerous. Bai Zian made a decisive decision and prepared to leave the awakened state. Even if he interrupted the awakening ritual, he couldn't let the awakening energy continue to get out of control. After all, the use of awakening energy to build a beast-fighting space is important, but it is far less important than Bai Zian's safety. However, at this moment, an intuition suddenly appeared in Bai Zian's mind. Perhaps, this is not a bad thing, but a huge opportunity. This intuition came out of nowhere, without any reason. However, when Bai Zian calmed down, because this is his talent, intuition, which brings him a special premonition. Intuition tells him that this is a huge opportunity, not a crisis. Thinking of this, Bai Zian calmed down, no longer hindered the awakening energy from rushing into his mind, and let the awakening energy transform him. In an instant, unimaginable awakening energy rushed into Bai Zian's mind. At the same time, under the influence of awakening energy, Bai Zian's awakening talent seems to have begun to change. My talent has undergone a special change. This is a kind of mutation. My beast-fighting talent has mutated. Bai Zian had a flash of light and seemed to think of something. In the world of beasts, there are sometimes mutant spirit beasts with special abilities or physiques, and as a kind of creature in the world, it naturally has the possibility of mutation, because the ability of human beings is the talent of fighting beasts. Once human beings mutate, it is basically the talent of fighting beasts. Bai Zian's current situation is exactly the mutation of the beast-controlling talent, stimulated by the awakening energy. Bai Zian, who had already awakened his talent for fighting beasts on his own, had a special change in his talent for fighting beasts. Bai Zian was shocked by this, but it doesn't seem like a bad thing to him. Thinking of this, Bai Zian completely let go of his body and mind, madly absorbing the awakening energy. At this time, the outside world has long been in trouble. Because Bai Zian madly absorbs the awakening energy, and directly absorbs the surrounding awakening energy, forming an energy vortex centered on Bai Zian. What's more, above Bai Zian's position, a phantom of a special purple eye slowly formed. Talent vision. This is a very special phantom. Only when one's own talent reaches the S rank level, or even a higher talent, can a special vision be born? What does this mean? It means that Bai Zian's mutant beast fighting talent has surpassed the level of A level, and at least reached the level of S level. However, ordinary people have never seen talent visions of S rank and above. Therefore, this amazing talent vision directly alerted the examiners in the examination room. However, because of Bai Zian's special origin, the examiner did not dare to make up his own mind and disturb Bai Zian. After all, Bai Zian is the grandson of the Lord of Bailin City. If something happens to Bai Zian, he can't afford the consequences. Therefore, the examiner will report this matter directly to the superior. After a while, two old men with amazing breath quickly came to the examination room. The old man on the left is Bai Zian's grandfather Bai Jingchong, and the white-haired old man on the right is Wu Xinghan, the person in charge of the examination room. What happened? Why do you say there is a problem with Shaoan? Bai Jingchong looked anxious and quickly asked the examiner, knowing what happened to Bai Zian. How could Bai Jingchong sit still and go directly to the examination room where Bai Zian was? In this regard, the examiner did not dare to hide it and quickly revealed the abnormality on Bai Zian's body. Talent vision. How is this possible? Shaoan has clearly awakened the talent of the beast. Could it be that Shaoan's intuition talent has mutated to become S rank? This is a good thing. Bai Jingchong was thoughtful, as if he had thought of something, and a gleam of light flashed in his eyes. Bai Jingchong has a special origin, is powerful, and his knowledge far exceeds that of ordinary beastmasters. So, when he saw what Bai Zian looked like, he had a guess in his heart. Bai Zian's beast mastering talent has mutated. Bai Jingchong was very happy about this. This is a rare opportunity, in his memory. In the entire history of human beast controlling, the beast guarding masters who had mutated beast guarding talents could be counted with both hands, and those beast masters whose talents mutated have all become legendary figures of celebrities through the ages. How could Bai Jingchong be unhappy? For some unknown reason, when Bai Jingchong saw the purple eye vision condensed by Bai Zian, he couldn't help but feel a sense of majesty in his heart. It seems that this purple eye belongs to a high-level existence, ignoring everything in the world, and it seems that facing Huang Tianwei makes him feel a sense of danger. This made Bai Jingchong a little worried, and he wanted to enter the examination room, go to Bai Zian's side, and learn about Bai Zian's situation, so that he could rest assured. Old Wu, let me enter the Hall of Awakening. Bai Jingchong looked at the old man beside him. Old Bai, don't embarrass me. You should know that, as the city lord of Bailin City, you cannot enter the Awakening Hall. The white-haired old man said helplessly, the Hall of Awakening is directly under the Kyushu Federation, not the city owner. Therefore, the Kyushu Federation will directly send a person in charge to each Awakening Hall to be responsible for the awakening and registration of talents. In these matters, the city lord is not qualified to intervene. This is a rule of the Kyushu Federation to avoid fraud in the examination room. For this reason, Wu Xinghan, the person in charge of the Awakening Hall, who was Bai Jingchong's old friend, suddenly had a headache when he heard that Bai Jingchong wanted to enter the Awakening Hall. For a while, the two were at a stalemate. Don't worry, Lao Bai, your grandson will be fine. Didn't you guess what happened to Bai Zian? This is definitely a good thing for him. If you go in rashly, you might disturb him. Don't worry, I won't let anything happen to your grandson. Wu Xinghan said bad things, so he persuaded Bai Jingchong. However, Bai Jingchong did not leave, but stayed outside the examination room, watching Bai Zian from a distance. Asterisk. 005 Mythical Talent, the Terrifying Eye of Apocalypse. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Bai Zian didn't know about the outside world, and he was feeling his changes with all his heart. Soon, with the support of the awakened energy, Bai Zian's beast-fighting talent was mutated. He could feel that his talent for fighting beasts seemed to have undergone earth-shaking changes, and it seemed that nothing around him could hide from him. This has a similar effect to the previous, intuition, talent, but it is even more amazing. Eye of Apocalypse, intuition, variation. At this moment, Bai Zian clearly understood the name of his mutant talent, Eye of Apocalypse, mythic level mystery talent. There are three knowledges in heaven and earth, and you know, with supernatural intuition and precognition ability, can see the enlightenment of heaven, know that with itself as the center, within a certain radius of various things. Myth level talent. What level is this? And it's still a mystery. What kind of immortal talent is this? It's hard to imagine. Bai Zian was speechless, shocked and puzzled, because the situation in front of him has exceeded his imagination. To be honest, Bai Zian knew about the talent of the mystery department. This is a very special type of beast master talent. Beast masters with mysterious talents can be said to be rare and possess unfathomable abilities. However, Bai Zian doesn't know what the myth level is, and has never heard of it. As we all know, there are 9 levels of the beast master's talent for beast masters. They are F, E, D, C, B, A, S, SS, SSS. This is the common sense of beast masters. It can be said that SSS level talent is even the top of the beast master. Bai Zian had never heard of the level of beast defense talent, which was called mythical talent. However, this talent is unusual at first sight. Could it be that on top of the SSS level talent, there is a higher level beast fighting talent? Therefore, Bai Zian was a little puzzled. Mythic talent, what kind of talent is it? However, from the introduction of the Eye of Apocalypse talent, the ability of this talent is definitely a very amazing type. Bai Zian is very satisfied with this. I did not expect that this trip to the awakening ceremony would actually yield such a harvest. After successfully completing the mutation of the beast fighting talent, Bai Zian slowly opened his eyes. The students who performed the awakening ceremony with Bai Zian have basically completed their awakening. The students who have successfully awakened their talent for beast fighting are all very happy. Students who failed in awakening were dejected. The atmosphere of the entire awakening hall can be said to be very different. Bai Zian didn't pay too much attention to this, because it was an expected scene. However, when Bai Zian saw the classmates around him, he suddenly saw some special entries. Powerful talents. D-level enhancement talents can slightly enhance the talents of pets. Speed talent, C-level enhancement talent, which can slightly increase the speed of pets. Wind spirit talent, A-level element talent, can use the power of wind element to enhance the power of wind element pet skills. On the heads of all the students who had successfully awakened their talent for fighting beasts, an entry appeared, introducing their talent for fighting beasts. Such a scene made Bai Zian a little stunned, but the next moment, Bai Zian immediately understood. This is exactly the effect of his beast fighting talent, Eye of Apocalypse. He seemed to understand a little bit. What is the difference between the so-called knowledge of heaven and earth and his knowledge? According to the introduction of this ability, it is difficult to hide things within a certain range from his eyes. This is a bit outrageous. Because of this ability, it can already be called omniscient and almighty. That seems a bit exaggerated. Bai Zian's Eye of Apocalypse talent has not yet reached the level of omnipotence. At most it is omniscient, within a certain range. However, the knowledge of all things within a certain range is already amazing. If used properly, Bai Zian will get unimaginable help. Just imagine for a moment that the enemy just appeared in front of him, but he didn't make a move. The enemy's beast fighting talent, the beast ability carried on the body, even the advantages and disadvantages of all aspects are all exposed to Bai Zian. In this case, the possibility of Bai Zian winning is not too great. For this reason, Bai Zian was so shocked. His mutant beast fighting talent seems to be a bit amazing. After a while, Bai Zian calmed down. However, because of the amazing effect of the Eye of Apocalypse talent, Bai Zian felt fresh for a week and kept checking the beast fighting talents of his classmates around him. Bai Zian's classmates have generally awakened their talent for fighting beasts, and they are basically not bad. At least they have talents above D rank. But it's no wonder that their elders are all powerful beast masters, and it is a matter of course to have such a result. However, what surprised Bai Zian was that among his classmates, there were actually 1 or 2 A-level beast fighting talents, which was a bit surprising. I have to say that there are still many geniuses in these second generations. During this process, Bai Zian also saw his grandfather Bai Jingchong not far from the examination room. Bai Zian was stunned for a moment, but he quickly realized why Bai Jingchong appeared here. Obviously, the movement he made just now alarmed Grandpa Bai Jingchong. Grandpa was worried about his condition, so he came to see him near the examination room. To be honest, if it weren't for the rules of the examination room, Bai Jingchong might have come to Bai Zian's side to ask about what happened just now. However, the awakening ceremony was not over yet, and it was not easy for Bai Jingchong to break in. In this regard, Bai Zian smiled lightly and gave Bai Jingchong a reassuring smile. saying that his current situation is very good and nothing has happened. Afterwards, Bai Zian continued to check the situation of the students around him. After a while, Bai Zian was about to stop, however, at this moment, Bai Zian's gaze inadvertently swept across the awakening god stone projection in the sky. A special entry jumped out. P.S. Ask for collections, ask for flowers, ask for evaluation tickets, ask for rewards, all kinds of requests. *006 The Kyushu Federation is secret, the seeds of the ancient tree of life, seeking collection. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Race, seed of the ancient tree of life, talent, life shift, SS, qualification, primary god, skills, talent awakening, gold, vitality plunder, orange, dead trees bring spring, orange, introduction, the seeds of the ancient tree of life, its SS level talent life transition, can promote biological evolution and help humans awaken the talent of beast defense. P.S. Due to the lack of divine substances and sufficient nutrients, the seeds of the ancient tree of life cannot grow and are temporarily in a dormant state. Hey! The awakening god stone of the Kyushu Federation is actually a spiritual beast, and it is also a legendary god level, a legendary beast. Moreover, the seeds of the ancient tree of life actually possess double S-level talents, a golden god-level skill, and many orange advanced skills. Once the seed of the ancient tree of life wakes up, it will definitely bring huge trouble. How is this possible? The leaders of the Kyushu Federation are playing with fire, or are they not aware of this at all? Bai Zian's pupils contracted, and he stared at the awakening god stone projection above the awakening hall in shock, and he was speechless, because he knew that he accidentally discovered a shocking secret, helping countless beastmasters to awaken their talents and creating a prosperous age of beastmasters. The awakening god stone, which can be called the cornerstone of the Kyushu Federation, was actually disguised as a beast-level spirit beast. Moreover, this is a divine beast with god-level skills. This is amazing. There are 6 levels of skills of spirit beasts, namely white common skills, green primary skills, blue intermediate skills, purple advanced skills, orange top skills, and golden god-level skills. Further up, Bai Zian doesn't know if there are other legendary skills. It's not something he can touch now. However, god-level skills can already be regarded as the ceiling. This can be seen, the strength of this ancient tree of life seed. That's why Bai Zian was so shocked. But then again, does the leadership of the Kyushu Federation know that the awakening god stone is a dormant baby beast? If they knew, it would be better, indicating that they knew it. If they don't know, if they purely regard the seed of the ancient tree of life as a treasure, the ancient tree of life will wake up in the future, and it is estimated that there will be huge hidden dangers. After all, the ancient tree of life has a top-level skill of plundering vitality. Once used, it will definitely cause a large-scale disaster. Bai Zian suddenly found out that this world of beasts might not be as simple as he imagined. All students are requested to form a team in the order of their student numbers and register your awakening status. Just as Bai Zian was thinking wildly, the examiner's voice sounded, organizing all the candidates to register for awakening, whether the candidate has awakened the beast defense talent, and what the awakened beast defense talent is. This all needs to be registered to facilitate the management of the beastmasters by the Kyushu Federation. In this regard, Bai Zian naturally had nothing to say and began to wait in line. Buing Kai, affiliated to Bailin No. 1 Middle School, Class 3 and 1, Awakening Talent, D-Level Enhancement Department Talent, Strong. Zhao Jiada, affiliated to Bailin No. 1 Middle School, Class 3 and 1, Awaken Talent, C-Level Enhancement Talent, Quick Speed. Anshiman, affiliated to Bailin City No. 1 Middle School, Class 3 and 1, Awakening Talent, A-Level Element Talent, Phone Ling. The Kyushu Federation naturally has a method for identifying talents, and the students who have just awakened their talent for fighting beasts can't hide it from the Kyushu Federation. This is also one of the reasons why the Kyushu Federation dared to let those noble families and special sect disciples participate in the awakening ceremony. In the same way, Bai Zian's situation cannot be concealed, of course. Although Bai Zian doesn't want to make it public, he doesn't plan to hide it either. After all, only students from humble backgrounds need to hide their talents, because they don't have a strong background and confidence. They can protect themselves when they are weak, and they can only find ways to hide their talents. However, Bai Zian has no such concerns. Because of his background, he is definitely the strongest in the entire myriad spider nest secret realm world. In the entire 10,000 spider nest world, Bai Zian, one of the 7 main city lords, is his grandfather. It can be said that his grandfather is one of the strongest in this world. Under such circumstances, what dark forces would dare to attack him? Those guys hiding in the shadows, if they were staring at Bai Zian, they would have been crushed by Bai Zian as soon as they stepped into Bailin City. So, Bai Zian doesn't need to worry about anything at all, playing as a pig and eating a tiger. Non-existent, he took the path of genius, so, Bai Zian doesn't have to worry about anything at all. Soon, it was Bai Zian's turn to register his talent. Bai Zian stretched out his hand and placed it on the identification instrument. Bai Zian, affiliated to Bailin City No. 1 Middle School, Class 1 of the 3rd grade, awakened talent, beyond the A level, beyond the scope of identification, cannot be identified. It is suspected to be related to the A-level spiritual talent, intuition. There was a mechanical sound from the appraisal machine, which stunned the examiners and candidates present. It's a bit strange that the identification machine can't be identified. For a time, the examiner was also a little embarrassed, so he reflected this matter. Soon, Wu Xinghan, the person in charge of the examination room, arrived. It turned out to be like this, but this is normal. The identification machine can only identify the talent of the beasts below S rank. The process of awakening gives birth to a talent vision. This is the sign of an S-level talent. In addition, it is related to the A-level talent, intuition, so it should be the S-level talent, super intuition. Okay, just register like this. Bai Zian, affiliated to Bailin City No. 1 Middle School, Class 1 of the 3rd grade, awakening talent, S-level spiritual talent, super intuition. Wu Xinghan understood the situation and made a direct conclusion. He already knew about Bai Zian. After all, when Bai Zian awakened his talent, he and Bai Zian were watching outside. In addition, Wu Xinghan is from the Kyushu Federation. He is well informed and knows about S-level talent. However, the S-level talent of the spiritual system is very rare, even on the original star. Therefore, Wu Xinghan can only define Bai Zian's beast mastering talent as the superior talent of the A-level talent, intuitiveness, and the S-level talent, super intuitiveness. This is Wu Xinghan's idea. Therefore, Wu Xinghan made a direct judgment and concluded the matter. During the whole process, Bai Zian couldn't even speak. By the time Bai Zian reacted, Wu Xinghan had already left. My mythical talent is actually mistaken for the S-rank, super intuitive, talent. This is a huge misunderstanding. Bai Zian was speechless. Asterisk. 007 The heaven-defying, Eye of Apocalypse, is comparable to the god of Omniscient. For collection. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The wrong judgment of Wu Xinghan, the person in charge of the Awakening Hall, directly mistaken Bai Zian's mythical talent, Eye of Apocalypse, for the S-level, super intuition, talent. This made Bai Zian speechless. However, Bai Zian has no plans to correct it either, because he still has some doubts in his heart. Why mythical talent is not in the ordinary talent level? Is there any secret behind this? Bai Zian has an intuition. If he said it rashly, he might cause unnecessary trouble. This is an early warning belonging to the mythical talent, Eye of Apocalypse, and it is highly credible. Therefore, Bai Zian naturally has to be cautious. If that's the case, don't say it, just study it yourself. In any case, the judgment of the S-level beast-fighting talent is enough to make him the most dazzling cub in the entire Bailin City. In addition, he is also the grandson of the Lord of Bailin City. So there will be no shortage of resources. Therefore, Bai Zian was too lazy to say anything. It can be said that this matter is like this, and it has been determined by accident. However, Bai Zian's awakening of S-level talent is not destined to end like this. The real impact is gradually spreading. The surrounding classmates all gathered around, looking at Bai Zian in shock. Master Bai, have you really awakened your S-level talent? Congratulations to Master Bai, you have successfully awakened the S-level talent. The legendary S-level talent, such an amazing talent, has taken off. Grandpa is a diamond-level beastmaster, and you have awakened the talent of S-level beastmaster, a proper heaven's favorite. This is really amazing. Bai Xiao, after you become a strong man, don't forget your old classmates. Because of Bai Zian's awakening of S-level talent, everyone was shocked. In this regard, Bai Zian was a little helpless, dealing with these classmates. Fortunately, the awakening ceremony still needs to continue. The next batch of candidates is still queuing up, waiting for the awakening ceremony to begin. Therefore, the examiner drove all the candidates such as Bai Zian out of the Hall of Awakening, so that they could welcome the next batch of candidates. And when Bai Zian and other classmates walked out of the Hall of Awakening, Bai Jingchong was already waiting. Outside, Bai Zian took this opportunity to go directly to his grandfather Bai Jingchong's side, and then he got rid of the entanglement of his classmates. Shaowen, how does the talent mutation feel? Is there anything unusual? Bai Jingchong quickly asked Bai Zian, wanting to know Bai Zian's situation. Grandpa, I feel good, but it's a pity that I didn't take advantage of this opportunity to build a space for imperial beasts. Bai Zian nodded slightly, indicating that there is no need to worry, just have a regret. Originally, he participated in the awakening ceremony this time mainly to use the awakening god stone, the awakening energy of the seeds of the ancient tree of life to build his beast-defying space. As a result, he did not expect that his talent for beast controlling had mutated, and he had no time to build a beast controlling space. It's okay, it's just a small matter. Bai Jingchong looked calm and didn't care at all. After all, compared to talent mutation, building a beast-defying space with awakening energy is just a trivial matter. What's more, with the resources of the City Lord's mansion, it can also help Bai Zian to quickly build the beast-fighting space without wasting much time. This resource loss is nothing compared to Bai Zian's harvest. Therefore, Bai Jingchong didn't care about this matter at all. However, Bai Jingchong was a little worried about Bai Zian's mutant talent. So, Bai Jingchong took this opportunity to help Bai Zian check. After confirming that Bai Zian's body and mental condition were all intact, Bai Jingchong was relieved. In the following time, Bai Zian did not leave directly, but stayed by Bai Jingchong's side, familiarizing himself with and studying the function of his Eye of Apocalypse talent. The first is intelligence investigation. Eye of Apocalypse can see through enemy intelligence. At present, this ability does not seem to be limited in strength. After all, even the seeds of the ancient tree of life at the level of mythical beasts were seen through by Bai Zian. The current Bai Zian has not yet become a beast master. This is quite exaggerated. Bai Zian can be sure that even a diamond powerhouse like Bai Jingchong can't see through the seeds of the ancient tree of life. However, with the help of the Eye of Apocalypse, Bai Zian directly saw through the disguise of the seed of the ancient tree of life, unlimited see through the enemy. This makes all lies and disguise invisible in front of Bai Zian. This can be a huge help to Bai Zian. Secondly, the Eye of Apocalypse can also be used for treasure hunting. 10 meters from the left front, the fire-type spirit beast, the red fire dog. Well, this is the beast of the staff of the Awakening Hall. They are patrolling the surrounding environment of the Awakening Hall to prevent the enemy from sneaking into the Awakening Hall. Its function is probably somewhat similar to that of the police dog in the previous life. This is not important. What is important is the effect of Eye of Apocalypse. This is the second function of Eye of Apocalypse, which can discover various spirit beasts and treasures within a certain range. This is simply a probing magic skill. As long as treasures appear near Bai Zian, they can't hide from Bai Zian's eyes. In this way, if Bai Zian wants to obtain treasures in the future, it will be much easier. Moreover, the ability of the Eye of Apocalypse reminds Bai Zian of a certain novel Gold Finger that he had read in his previous life, that is the system beep. In some novels, the protagonist can get the system prompt sound, and then explore various treasures, and his Eye of Apocalypse talent has a similar ability. The only difference is that this is not a system ability, but Bai Zian's talent for fighting beasts. Explore enemy intelligence. Find treasure tips. This is the basic ability of Eye of Apocalypse, which has almost no flaws, and can be called the effect of the sky-defying level, and these two abilities will definitely bring great help to Bai Zian. I have to say that the role of mythical talent is still very amazing. Bai Zian is very satisfied with this. The only regret is that the perception range of Eye of Apocalypse seems to have certain constraints. At present, Bai Zian can only detect the situation within a radius of 10 meters with him as the center. This may be the only flaw of Eye of Apocalypse. However, this should be the reason why Bai Zian's strength is still weak. when Bai Zian's strength increases, the detection range will gradually expand. When Bai Zian grows to a certain height, the detection range covers the whole world. At that time, everything in the world will not be able to hide from Bai Zian's perception. At that time, Bai Zian will become the god of omniscience. This is the role of the Eye of Apocalypse. Talent, and the mythical talent is against the sky. Asterisk. 008 S-level talent, Feng Yan, the rise of the little phoenix. For collection. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The mythical level Eye of Apocalypse is really amazing and can bring me great help. The more he learned about the Eye of Apocalypse, the more delighted Bai Zian was, because the effect of this talent is really amazing. It will definitely bring him a huge effect on Bai Zian's path as a beast master. For this reason, Bai Zian did not care about other things and devoted himself to the research of the Eye of Apocalypse. However, at this moment, in the Hall of Awakening, there was a domineering phoenix cry. At the same time, a phoenix formed by condensed flames rose directly into the sky. For a time, the birds and spirit beasts around the awakening hall all crouched on the ground and shivered, as if there was some terrifying existence. The voice of the phoenix, the fire of the phoenix shape, this is the talent vision of the S-rank talent, Feng Yan. The Feng family's generation is very good. Bai Jingchong's eyes narrowed, as if he had guessed something, and said a word slowly. S-level talent, Feng Yan, is this the talent of little phoenix? This is a bit unexpected. Hearing Grandpa's murmurings, Bai Zian immediately guessed the truth. This should be Feng Qianyu. After all, Feng Qianyu was the only one who participated in the awakening ceremony of the Feng family this time. In other words, Feng Qianyu awakened her S-rank talent for fighting beasts. This made Bai Zian a little surprised, although he often ridiculed Feng Qianyu as a little phoenix. That girl was so arrogant that her tail was almost lifted to the sky. It turned out that Feng Qianyu really became a phoenix this time, awakening his talent for fighting beasts related to the phoenix. In this way, he can no longer play Feng Qianyu. Bai Zian did not forget the previous bet. This is also one of the reasons why Bai Zian continues to stay in Awakening Plaza. Bai Zian originally planned to show off in front of Feng Qianyu to see the girl's shocked expression, but now, because both sides have awakened their S-level talents, it would be considered a draw. Of course, if Bai Zian told his true situation, he would definitely win the bet. However, in order to win a bet, expose his mythical talent, Bai Zian couldn't do such a brainless thing. It's boring, Grandpa, I'm going home first. Bai Zian turned his head and said to Bai Jingchong, since there is no good show to watch, there is no need for him to continue wasting time here. Of course, if he continues to stay here, it is estimated that he can get some benefits. For example, the principal of their middle school will definitely reward him with some treasures. After all, Bai Zian is an S-level talent, breaking the school's previous record. But for Bai Zian, he didn't look down on the headmaster's reward at all, because the principal of their school is only a silver beast master. The treasures that the silver beast master can take out are probably not as precious as they are. When it comes to treasures, the treasures of the city lord's mansion are far more than anyone else's. This is the second generation of beast masters. No, the strength of the third generation of beast masters. The most important point is that Bai Zian doesn't like to socialize. When the awakening ceremony is over, the expansion of his awakening S-level talent will definitely cause a huge shock. At that time, the classmates of the same school, the teacher and the principal, and even the dignitaries of Bailin City, as well as the generals, will surely flock there. These entertainments are estimated to be annoying, so, why don't he just flash people? It's better to go back to study. Eye of Apocalypse. Okay, go back and practice well. By the way, this is the key to the treasure house of the city lord's mansion. Go to the treasure house to get some Lingbai crystals, which will be very helpful for you to build the space for the imperial beast. Also, let Bai Ji and Bai Xiao follow you, don't act alone. Bai Jingchong nodded slightly and made some explanations. Thank you, Grandpa. Hearing Bai Jingchong's words, Bai Zian was overjoyed and quickly thanked Bai Jingchong. Lingbai crystal, this is a first-class treasure, and it contains the power of crystal walls, which is of great benefit to the space that can control beasts. Under normal circumstances, the beast master will only use Lingbai crystal when breaking through, so that the beast master can break through to a new realm. Moreover, because of the amazing effect of Lingbai crystal, the price in the market is extremely Hi, at least starting at 1 million Kyushu coins. What's more, such treasures are often priceless. This can see the role of Lingbai crystal. It can be said that even a powerful beastmaster, it is difficult to obtain the Lingbai crystal, and it is even more impossible to use it to build a beastmaster space. This is no longer a luxury, but a waste. It is too wasteful to use Lingbai crystal to build the space for the imperial beast, but now, Bai Jingchong directly gave Bai Zian permission to use the Lingbai crystal of the city lord's mansion, in order to save the time for constructing the space for the imperial beast. Such a thing is simply unimaginable for ordinary beastmasters. As for the Bai Ji and Bai Xiao mentioned by Bai Jingchong, they are the retainers of the Bai family. They are all gold-level beastmasters, very powerful, and they are also Bai Jingchong's capable officers. But now, Bai Jingchong asked the two of them to come together to protect Bai Zian. After all, Bai Zian, who successfully awakened his S-level talent, must be one of the brightest cubs in the entire mysterious world of 10,000 spider nest. Maybe some people with bad intentions may be eyeing Bai Zian. However, Bai Zian was protected by two golden beastmasters, Bai Ji and Bai Xiao. There is no need to worry about Bai Zian's safety. The resources needed for practice, the guardian of Bai Zian, Bai Jingchong, has already arranged these things. Bai Zian doesn't need to worry about anything. He doesn't have any worries. He just needs to practice with peace of mind. That's the benefit of having a background. For this reason, Bai Zian is so happy. Afterwards, Bai Zian bid farewell to Bai Jingchong, and under the escort of the guard, returned directly to the mansion of the city lord. Asterisk 009. The new role of the Eye of Apocalypse, build a perfect mythical beast-defying space. For collec. You are listening at novelfull.audio. When I returned to the city lord's mansion, except for some servants, there was no one else. Bai Zian's parents have their own jobs, and the younger sister is sent to school again, which saves Bai Zian some trouble. Therefore, Bai Zian didn't say much and took the elevator directly to the basement of the villa, let Bai Ji and Bai Xiao wait outside, and Bai Zi entered the basement by himself. Afterwards, Bai Zian used the treasure house key given to him by Bai Jingchong, directly opened the door of the treasure house, and entered the treasure house alone. For a time, various treasures and resources appeared in front of Bai Zian. Many of these resources are rare treasures that are rarely seen in the outside world. Once it appears in the outside world, it will cause the looting of the beastmasters. However, Bai Zian didn't pay much attention to it, and instead looked for Lingbaijing's whereabouts. After all, for Bai Zian, the most important thing in front of him is to build a space for the beasts. Even if other treasures are given to him, he can't use them now, so why should he look at them more? Soon, Bai Zian came to a row of iron boxes. 0.5 meters ahead, a large number of Lingbai crystals were found. The hint of the Eye of Apocalypse appeared in Bai Zian's mind. Opening the first iron box, pieces of hexagonal jade the size of a palm, emitting pale white light, appeared in front of Bai Zian. This is exactly the Lingbai crystal that Bai Zian needs. However, the number of Lingbaijing seems to have exceeded Bai Zian's expectations. A whole box of Lingbai crystals, this amount is too amazing. Bai Zian was a little surprised. Looking at the number of Lingbai crystals in this box, there are at least 300 pieces. A piece of Lingbai crystal starts with at least 1 million Kyushu coins. 2 or 300 Lingbai crystals, that is more than 300 million Kyushu coins. Hiss. Such a precious resource. My grandfather threw it directly into the treasure house of the city lord's mansion, without paying any attention to it. It seemed a bit inhumane. Wait, this seems to be just the first iron box. There are several other iron boxes next to it, shouldn't it? Bai Zian seemed to think of something and opened the iron boxes next to him. For a time, a bright white light shrouded Bai Zian's eyes. Boxes of Lingbai crystals appeared in front of Bai Zian. Bai Zian stared straight at him. All these iron boxes are filled with Lingbai crystals. Well, he still underestimated the wealth of a diamond beastmaster. It has to be said that the more powerful the beastmaster, the more amazing the wealth accumulated. However, this does not seem to be a bad thing for him. He can use the Lingbai crystal to the maximum extent to build his own beast-defying space. After thinking about this, Bai Zian stopped thinking about it, dragged an iron box, and returned to his room. Sister Baiji, I need a quiet environment, and don't let people disturb me. After a little explanation, Bai Zian began to prepare to build a space for the imperial beasts. Bai Zian is naturally very clear about the method of constructing the space for the beasts, because this is all the knowledge in the classroom. The power of the beast guarding space is related to its own beast guarding talent. The higher the beast defense talent, the stronger the beast defense space constructed, and the greater the benefits to the beast, not to mention the talent for fighting beasts. Bai Zian's talent for fighting beasts is a mythical talent, absolutely the top. The beast fighting space he built is definitely the top batch. As for resource consumption, take the number of Lingbai crystals as an example. If it is said that an F-level talented beastmaster, to build a beast control space, at most 1 Lingbai crystal is needed, then, for an S-level talent beastmaster, the number of Lingbai crystals needed to build a beast defense space may be 20 or 30 pieces. My beast fighting talent is mythical. If you want to build a beast-defying talent, it will cost 200 or 300 yuan. Bai Zian murmured in his heart, don't think that this number is small. In fact, this is quite exaggerated, because this is not the breakthrough of a powerful beastmaster, but only the construction of the beastmaster space. The construction of the beastmaster space is just the starting point for the beastmaster. Even at the beginning, 200 or 300 Lingbai crystals were needed. When Bai Zian grew up, if Lingbai crystals were needed, the number would only be exaggerated. Thinking of this, Bai Zian is ready to start building the beast-defying space. However, at this time, the heavenly revelation of the Eye of Apocalypse appeared again. You are studying the structure of the beast-preserving space and gaining enlightenment from heaven. The first construction method of the beast-fighting space, ordinary mythical level beast-fighting space, costs 333 Lingbai crystals. The detailed construction method is as follows. Second construction method of the beast-defying space, strengthen the mythical level beast-defending space. 666 Lingbai crystals are required. The detailed construction method is as follows. The third construction method of the beast-defying space, the perfect mythical beast-defying space, 999 pieces of Lingbai crystal are required. The detailed construction method is as follows. A special entry appeared in front of Bai Zian. Research on the construction of the imperial beast space. There is still the enlightenment of heaven. Bai Zian was stunned. However, in the blink of an eye, Bai Zian's face was filled with excitement that could not be concealed. Because he accidentally discovered a new application of the Eye of Apocalypse talent, he just had doubts in his heart, and immediately he could obtain the enlightenment of heaven, and directly obtain various answers to help him solve his doubts. This ability is simply more exaggerated than a certain encyclopedia. In this way, if he encounters any problems in the future, he can solve them. Just think about it. If he encounters a question he can't understand during the exam, he can get the enlightenment of heaven and get the answer directly. Excited to think about it, sure enough, his Eye of Apocalypse talent is very mysterious, and there are many effects that he needs to study slowly. However, this is not in a hurry for Bai Zian for the time being. The most important thing at hand is to complete the construction of the beast-defying space. As for Bai Zian's choice of the construction method of the imperial beast space, not to mention, it is naturally the third way to construct the space of the beasts. After all, a perfect mythical level beast monster space must be amazing and can have a more powerful effect. With Bai Zian's temperament, it is natural to pursue perfection. As for the consumption of Lingbai crystal, Bai Zian was not worried at all, because he doesn't say anything else. But there are many resources. With a grandfather of a diamond beast master, and a city master at the main city level, there is no shortage of resources at all. Thinking of this, Bai Zian walked out of the room directly, went to the underground treasure house again, dragged out 2 boxes of Lingbai crystals from the treasure house, and returned to his room. After all preparations were completed, Bai Zian began to construct a perfect mythical beast-defying space according to the method inspired by the Tao of Heaven. Asterisk. 010 Bailin City shakes, 3 side effects. For collection. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Under the enlightenment of the heavenly way of the Eye of Apocalypse, Bai Zian began to build a perfect mythical beast-defying space, and when Bai Zian started to get busy, the situation at the awakening ceremony finally came out. Various dignitaries and city generals have already known that at today's awakening ceremony, 2 geniuses who awakened S-level talents appeared. Bai Zian, grandson of the city lord Bai Jingchong, Feng Qianyu, the granddaughter of the deputy city lord Feng Yan. This incident caused a lot of shock, and many dignitaries were shocked. After they reacted, they prepared a generous gift and rushed to the city lord's mansion and the deputy city lord's mansion. wanting to congratulate Bai Zian and Feng Qianyu, and to get closer to the two. After all, the elders of Bai Zian and Feng Qianyu are strong in themselves, and they have also awakened the top-level beast-fighting talent, which shows that they are taking off properly. If you don't have a good time now and pull in the relationship, when will you wait? It is foreseeable that in the next period of time, the Bai family and the Feng family will definitely be crowded together. Of course, the number of dignitaries who rushed to the Bai family was obviously larger. Without him, it's just because Bai Jingchong is the #1 powerhouse in Bailin City. Compared with the Feng family, the Bai family is obviously more worthy of flattery. In a world where the strong are respected, this is the most real and effective rule. Housekeeper, is the young master back? At the same time, Bai Zian's parents hurried back to the city lord's mansion. Obviously, they were also alarmed by this incident. When they knew that Bai Zian had awakened his S-level talent, they were both puzzled and shocked. The question is, didn't Bai Zian awaken the A-level talent, intuition, long ago? Why does he still have the awakening talent? What is shocking is that the name of the S-level talent is, for this reason, they suddenly couldn't sit still, and hurried back to the city lord's mansion. However, when I heard that Bai Zian was retreating and was going to open up a space for the imperial beasts, they quickly left Bai Zian's room to avoid disturbing Bai Zian. In particular, Bai Zian's mother called in several retainers again to surround Bai Zian's room so as not to be disturbed by the outside world. It can be said that because of Bai Zian's awakening of his S-level talent, the outside world has long been thrown out. However, Bai Zian didn't know these things at all, because at this time, all his energy was on the matter of building a perfect beast defense space. Time flies, and a week goes by in a blink of an eye. For a whole week, Bai Zian did not step out of the room. All dietary needs are delivered to the door of the room by the servants. Bai Zian ignores external affairs and devotes himself to this matter. In this case, Bai Zian finally refined the last piece of Lingbai crystal. When Bai Zian successfully refined the 999th Lingbai crystal, the perfect level of the mythical beast controlling space has finally been successfully constructed. At this moment, a mysterious aura appeared on Bai Zian's body. Bai Zian could feel that his spiritual power was skyrocketing, as if he had been sublimated. Moreover, Bai Zian's height is also slightly higher by a few centimeters, making him look stronger. This is the feedback of the successful construction of the imperial beast space. At the same time, Bai Zian could feel that a special space seemed to be born in his soul. This is an island-sized space, with blue sky and white clouds, mountains and rivers, and looks extremely beautiful. This is Bai Zian's beast-guarding space, the perfect level of the mythical beast space. My beast-fighting space is actually an island, which is too amazing. Bai Zian opened his eyes, and there was an indescribable surprise in his eyes. As a descendant of a beastmaster, Bai Zian naturally knows a lot about the beastmaster space. However, from what he knew, an ordinary beastmaster's beast-guarding space is at most a white space the size of a room, a vast expanse of white space with nothing at all. But his beast-defying space is not only very vast, like an island, but even has everything you need. This is beyond Bai Zian's knowledge, but think about it for a moment. His beast-guarding space is a perfect level of mythical beast-controlling space, and it is a little special, which seems to be a matter of course. On the other hand, the size of the beast-guarding space will gradually expand along with the strength of the beast-guardian. Judging from the situation of Bai Zian's beast-fighting space, if it continues to grow, wouldn't it form a real world? This is a bit outrageous. For this reason, Bai Zian was so happy. After a while, Bai Zian calmed down his excitement and began to understand the side effects of the imperial beast space. Yes, there is a certain probability that the beast-controlling space constructed by the beastmaster can obtain a side effect. Bai Zian's beast-controlling space is a perfect level of mythical beast-controlling space, and there must be some side effects. Mythical imperial beast space, perfect level, incidental effect. It can shorten the growth time of pets, remove the negative effects of pets, and have a certain probability to stimulate the hidden talents of pets. Hey! The 3 side effects, the role of the mythical beast space, seems a bit surprising. Bai Zian was a little shocked after learning about the function of the mythical beast space. Ordinary beast imperial space, you can get a side effect, which is already very amazing. His beast-controlling space actually obtained 3 side effects. I have to say that the perfect mythical beast-controlling space is really amazing. As for the specific use of the 3 side effects, the first side effect shortens the growth time of pets. This side effect is very helpful to Bai Zian. with the talent of Mythical Beast Master, he has great ambition. The beast he wants to contract must be a spirit beast with great potential, which is worthy of his mythical talent. However, the world of beasts has a rule. Spirit beasts with greater potential have a longer growth cycle. This is a difficult problem. However, Bai Zian's talent for fighting beasts directly helped him solve this problem. It can shorten the growth time of pet beasts, so that even if he conquers some spiritual beasts with great potential, he can grow up in a short time. It can be said that this side effect is very effective. As for the second side effect, it can remove the negative effects of pets. This effect is also somewhat surprising. Some special pets may cause special damage, or control, or poisoning, or frostbite, or burns and other negative damage. This is a very troublesome thing for pets. However, Bai Zian's beast guarding space can actually remove negative effects. Doesn't that mean that if his pet beast is recruited, he can directly take back the beast guarding space, and then let it out again, jumping lively? This is simply the nemesis of those special pets. If used well, this side effect can be of great help. Asterisk.